My parents dropped all for my brother's kids, but said watching my son for 4 hours was too much. So I cut them off in a way they'll never recover from. I, a 32-year-old male, am what you would call the family disappointment. Not because I am a failure, quite the opposite actually. I am a civil engineer who owns a small construction consulting firm. The disappointment comes from the fact that I am not my younger brother Ryan, who is 29. I have spent my entire life living in the shadow of his supposed potential, watching my accomplishments be diminished and dismissed while his smallest efforts were celebrated like Olympic victories. It was not always easy to recognize the pattern. When you grow up in a household with such blatant favoritism, you start to believe there is something special about your sibling that you are missing, some quality that makes them more deserving of love and attention than you are. It took years of therapy after leaving home to understand that the problem was not me, it was the toxic family dynamic my parents had created. Let me paint you a picture of my childhood, a series of moments that individually might seem small, but collectively form the narrative of my place in the family. When I was 8, Ryan broke our mom's grandmother's china, a family heirloom that had been carefully preserved for generations. Mom had always told us how precious it was, how it had survived the journey from Europe with her ancestors. When Ryan sent it crashing to the floor during one of his tantrums, our parents simply said, "Accidents happen." They comforted him as he cried, telling him it was just old stuff anyway. 3 weeks later, when I accidentally broke a regular dinner plate while drying dishes, they lectured me for nearly 1 hour about being more careful in the cost of things, making me do extra chores to pay it back. At 16, after months of late nights perfecting my project, I won the state science fair with an innovative water filtration system. The judges said it showed exceptional promise for real-world applications. My science teacher called my parents personally to tell them how proud they should be. The ceremony was scheduled for 2 o'clock in the afternoon on a Saturday. My parents promised they would be there, but at noon they informed me they could not make it because Ryan had a soccer game, a regular season game where he was benched the entire time, as he had been all season. I accepted my award alone, watching other kids celebrate with their families while I stood off to the side, my certificate clutched in trembling hands. When I was 18, I received a full-ride scholarship to one of the top engineering programs in the country. The letter arrived on a Tuesday, and I could not wait to share the news at dinner. When I announced it, expecting at least some acknowledgement of the achievement, their response was lukewarm. "Well, engineering is a safe choice, I guess. Ryan's so creative with his music," they said. They then spent the rest of the meal discussing Ryan's upcoming recital at the local coffee shop. The scholarship that would save them tens of thousands of dollars in tuition was barely mentioned again. At 22, I graduated summa cum laude with a degree in civil engineering, already having job offers from 3 prestigious firms. My parents did come to the graduation, but they spent most of the ceremony on their phones, texting Ryan about his band setup for their gig that night.